Please, Vivek.
This is the person who helped me at the tomb, my lord.
Lord Vivek, we don't need the help of this outlander.
Oh, hush, Archcanon Tarvis. Outlanders have their usefulness, and this one intrigues me.
As you say, I'll be in my office if you need me.
Step forward, friend of Levuul, and let us speak. Canon Levuul says you helped him in his mission. As I have written, the one who helps my ally becomes my friend. Despite the Archcanon's concerns, I greet you with sincerity and pose a simple question. Will you assist us further, Outlander? I have ordinators and armigers at my disposal. Vast armies of followers and dedicated priests. What I don't have, however, is a fresh perspective. Will you set aside your personal goals for a time and become the eyes and ears of a god? Good. I need assistance to investigate a strange phenomenon that the Ancestor confirmed may indeed be a problem. We'll start with a simple divination ritual. Archcanon Tarvis can tell you what we need to delve into this mystery. The situation that troubles me has taken a toll on my Archcanon, but he's a faithful servant. Tarvis will do as I say, and I say we need your assistance. Find the Archcanon in his office, and he'll tell you how to proceed. The Daedric Prince. I suppose the same events that concern me might interest Azura, though she could just as easily be the source of these troubles. Red Mountain, strange Daedra, and then there's... well, we'll talk more about that when you return. Levuul's ancestor assured me that a source of power remains safe. As for the rest, let the guess ripen in the mind, and only speak when the fruit grows certain. I require more information on these matters, hence the need for the divination ritual.
Outlander. Lord Vivek trusts too much to put his faith in one such as you, but who am I to question my god? I suppose he sent you to me so I could put you to work. Did he say which task he wants us to accomplish first? Ah, yes. We do need to perform a ritual to reveal the nature of the phenomenon that vexes Lord Vivek. Now listen closely. I hate to repeat myself. Despite my objections, Vivek believes you were sent to help, so I'll do my best to assist you. Go to the ziggurat that's still under construction and tell the Overseer that Lord Vivek requires the Blessing Stone. Then bring it to me in the palace. You receive a simple errand in the service of Lord Vivec, and countless questions form unbidden in your mind. Very well. Go ahead. Ask your questions. It's not like I'm the busy archcanon of a living god or anything. Ah, the ignorance of Outlanders. How refreshing. The Blessing Stones serve as repositories for small amounts of Lord Vivec's power. They allow his favor to permeate sanctified locations. We need such a stone to power the divination ritual. If you haven't guessed yet, the phenomenon interferes with Lord Vivec's power in unusual ways. It will be safer for everyone if I perform the ritual by using the Blessing Stone instead of drawing on my Lord's personal store of energy. Even if I told you, you wouldn't comprehend it. Lord Vivec's senses eclipse those of mere mortals. Suffice it to say, he feels a disturbance in the flow of energy throughout Vardenfell. He seeks to discover the source of that disturbance. Lord Vivec sees signs and portents everywhere. It's the poet at his core. I tend to be much more pragmatic. Sometimes a volcano is simply a volcano, and not a harbinger of doom. As for the Daedra, I have no idea. Perhaps the summoning got out of hand. Offend me? You give yourself too much credit. No, I feel the same about all Outlanders. This is tribunal business, best handled by tribunal resources. However, I also obey my Lord Vivec, so I will tolerate your involvement and do my best to aid you.
Another adventurer looking for work? Did you? Well, that's why it was posted. It's simple. Citizens tell us what they need, and we arrange for the job to be completed. You will be able to meet with the client before starting the task. They'll also have your reward, not us. Belleru Omeril and her brother Traylan will handle your assignments. Check in with them frequently to see if they have a job for you. They'll inform you what you need to accomplish and who made the request. Belleru's requests may appear straightforward, but many adventurers find them difficult to accomplish. The assortment of enemies she'll ask you to face are all powerful, and I would recommend gathering allies before heading out. Traylan handles requests which the temple has special interests in. His tasks require more subtlety, but they are by no means easy. Make sure to listen to his explanations carefully. It's also a good idea to speak to the clients beforehand. I would hope. You came to us, after all. Traylan and Belleru are just down the hall. They should already have assignments for you. Speak to either of them to get started.
Current events have left the temple in need of additional resources. The requests I handle are citizens whose interests best align with the goals of the temple. You'll work with these individuals to help better Vardenfell. Are you interested? We believe the Kamona Tong are smuggling slaves in a cavern called Kartag Point. If true, we have the opportunity to prevent them from gaining a foothold in the region. However, the temple must have confirmation before we can act. Search the Kamona Tong campsite in Kartag Point and eliminate their commander. This should slow their progress. Vorar Vendu has brought this issue to our attention. He's in Vivec City if you need more information. He'll also have your reward.
Citizens hand in their request, I tell you what I know, and you take care of it. The person with the problem is usually more than willing to talk your ear off about it. The more people you can convince to help you with the job, the better. Dinor Salvi is having trouble over at the Messir Dadalit egg mine. Seems they had a recent influx of Kwama coming in, and now there's far too many for the miners to handle. I heard there's a particularly nasty Kwama warrior nestled up with the Queen. You just need to help reset the balance. Head to the mine and kill as many Kwama as you can. Don't forget to off the Queen's new sweetheart as well. Salvi's in Vivec City if you have any other questions. Talk to him about payment when you're done.
Next time, welcome to our hall. Are you familiar with the guild? The Fighters Guild. You should consider joining up. We have a new guildmaster and a new singular purpose. Why don't we talk for a moment? Excellent. I know we'll all be drawing blades together soon enough. Now, what can I tell you? Right. Our new guildmaster is an Argonian, sees all colors. She has us all hunting down the Daedra and their damned anchors. You might have seen them. Enormous chains, plagues of Daedra boil out to lay waste to the countryside. Hard fights. Guildmaster Yofnir passed away recently, very suddenly. I always thought he'd die with a blade in his hand. But he passed away in his sleep, called to Sovngarde by his ancestors. We all miss him, but Colors has proven to be a very able leader. Well, then let me be the first to officially welcome you as an associate of the Fighters Guild. Get out there and take the fight to the Daedra.
A fascinating applic. Welcome. Are you here on Mage's Guild business? Yes, of course. We're lawkeepers across the face of Tamriel. Guild members seek out books, tomes, and ancient scrolls in their travels. Why don't you speak with me for a moment? Always good to speak with another knowledge seeker. Guildmaster Vanus will be pleased. We're book hunters of a sort. We seek out new information, capture it in our libraries, and make copies for distribution across Tamriel. The Guild doesn't care about battlefields or boundaries, just knowledge and the acquisition of new tomes. Vanus Galarian, one of the founding members of this august body, still holds the proud title of Guildmaster, overseeing every guild hall in Tamriel. He works with other ranking members, such as Tellinger, the Artificer, to ensure our future success. We are neutral in the war between the three alliances. When we're on guild business, we kneel to no king or queen. That's why you'll see members of every race in our halls. Excellent. You are now a student of the Mages Guild. Every book you find will now earn you reputation in the guild.
Why must everyone be so violent?
You're our hired infiltrator. I suppose you'll have to do. It's good you decided to talk. The Kamona Tong aren't a group you want to tussle with before gathering your information. What do storied Covenant heroes and Kamona Tong cronies have in common? Apparently the region's illegal slave trade. The seaside cavern Kartog Point is drowning in rumors as of late, and I need to figure out what's fact and what's fiction. Well, just one we know of, the Orc Commander Kartog. We've learned that he and his raiders are somehow involved in slave smuggling. In what way? We're not exactly sure, but he seems to have caught the attention of the Kamana Tong. The Kamana Tong are slavers, murderers, extortionists, everything a vile crime syndicate can be. They don't like outlanders, especially ones who cut into their profits. Tread lightly in Kartog Point. It's crawling with their cronies. I once ran with a Kamana Tong. I wised up and got out, but not before seeing what kind of scum they truly are. When my business partners came to me with this issue, I said I'd take care of it. I'm more than happy to take the fetchers down a peg.
Play, play, life's an adventure. Run, run as fast as you dare. Sing, sing, imagine the pleasure. Everything's fun when you don't have a care. Good night, little scream.
This one doesn't know what to think about his Telvanni customers. On one paw, they keep people like me as slaves. On the other, their pouches overflow with more gold than this one has ever seen. What to do? What to do?
I've never felt so happy.
Are you here about our little pest problem? Let's keep our voices down, shall we? No need for the whole city to know. I need you to head to the mine as soon as possible and take care of this mess. Just start killing any Kwami you see, particularly the big brute protecting the queen. It didn't seem like a bad idea at the time. What good is a queen without a colony? We sprayed just a smidge of pheromones here and there, and Kwama started rushing in. The issue was getting them to stop. We're still working through that one. We had a rather nasty string of Kwama warriors begin to fight over the queen's affections. Took us all by surprise when they started seeing the miners as challengers. Sadly, our standard procedures didn't cover a passion-driven battle to the death. The miners said he's the biggest Kwama they've ever seen, and certainly the nastiest. He's the cause of more worker deaths than the rest of the colony combined. If we're to salvage this situation, he simply cannot remain.
Help someone in need?
Bunch of tightwads around here.
I think we should execute criminals on sight. But my captain won't allow it. He wants your bounty. Fine. Now get your stink away from me.
This project has been nothing but one disaster after another. How am I expected to get this ziggurat built on time when things constantly go wrong? Don't mind. Our blessing stone? Do you know what happens if we give up our blessing stone? Well, neither do I, but I'm sure it won't put us back on schedule or end our string of disasters. I'm not one to disagree with the Archcanon, but that's a terrible idea. Lord Vivec? Well, why didn't you say so? But I'll need your help before I can turn over the Blessing Stone. The passage that leads to the consecration chamber collapsed, trapping some of my workers. If you can clear the way, you can borrow the stone. I appreciate the help. Just remember that you're only borrowing the stone. It needs to be back in the consecration chamber before the next shift, or we'll never get this ziggurat constructed in time.
Thank you. I'll go tell the Overseer what you did for me.
I thought I was gonna die under there. Oh, thanks for saving me.
Praise Vivec!
The Outlander returns. I understand there was trouble at the construction site, but you were able to save a few of the workers. Lord Vivec always draws the straightest arrow from the quiver. Praise the Tribunal. Did you bring the Blessing Stone? Stand over there. In Canon Level's absence, you will form the third corner of our ritual triangle. When you're ready, place the Blessing Stone, and we'll begin the ritual. Hear the words of the warrior poet, and reveal the source of Lord Vivec's distress. An Ashlander? A clockwork mage? A Daedric cultist? Something interfered with the ritual, my lord. But we may have learned something. Excuse me while I compare the results to our previous research.
Between the cryptic warnings of the Ancestor Spirit and the unexpected result of the divination ritual, I fear there may be more astir than I imagined. We solved the greatest mysteries by accident, I suspect. I should write that down. We learn from every action we take. Failure or success, each result teaches us something, at least in the larger sense. To be more specific, no, not as much as I hoped. Images that suggest avenues to investigate, riddles to solve. Let me tell you a secret, Outlander. It concerns a living god and energy that fades like daylight as dusk spreads across the land. Listen well, and speak not a word. My divine energy, it drains away. Whether from illness or foul malady, I know not. You must travel the land and seek answers on my behalf. But first, gratitude before service, as I have written. So thank you. The ritual confirmed my worst fears. Divine energy flows out of me for no reason that I can discern. I felt the power imbued within my Blessing Stone get wrenched away as soon as you added it to the ritual. I couldn't stop it. To quote my own words as the warrior poet, no lock exists that the determined thief cannot open. Follow the trail of my missing energy, and try to discover the identity of the enemy Levul's ancestor warned us about. Something drains my energy. Find Archcanon Tarvis in his office, and ask if he gleaned anything useful from the ritual. If not, I know his earlier research indicated new avenues to investigate. Go where he tells you, and learn what you can. My divine energy diminishes with every passing moment, but the ritual confirmed my affliction is not natural. I regret that I could not reveal the full nature of these dire circumstances until your trustworthiness had been demonstrated. Yes, while Archcanon Tarvis has always been cautious about ideas and ideologies that didn't originate within the Tribunal. And recently, that prudence has grown 1,000-fold. He's a faithful servant, however, despite his narrow-mindedness. I've always used my power freely and without detriment. I create the Blessing Stones, hold the moonlit above the city, and perform 100 miracles a day to benefit my people. I begin to feel the toll this liberal application of divinity costs me. I care little for my own safety, but my people are another matter. Without my power to stop it, the moonlit will crash into the city and kill hundreds, perhaps thousands of innocents. And that would be just the start of Vardenfell's woes. At first, I barely noticed the loss of energy. But as I continue to grow weaker, the more it feels like an attack against my person. Besides, the Ancestor Spirit confirmed that an ancient enemy was to blame. We just need to determine who before... Let us not dwell on disasters to come when we have problems enough to deal with in the here and now. Consult with Archcanon Tarvus and discover the source of this attack. Then we can put an end to it and not worry about what might have been. They always chide me about my flagrant displays of divinity, but so far, I am the only one of the living gods whose power is fading. Almalexia hoards her energy and has barricaded her temple against attack. As for Sotha Sil, my brother travels. We have not heard from him for quite some time, but I sense that he remains safe and in possession of his full power. Funny. You always wanted to discover the limits of our divinity. Perhaps I will solve that mystery for him.
I performed that ritual countless times, and it never exploded in my face before. If I discover that you sabotaged the divination... No. How do you know about... Lord Vivec told you? Of course he did. It's his prerogative, I suppose. You must swear to keep this secret, though. There would be panic in the streets if the people believed one of the tribunal was incapacitated. It's true. I'm much better at scholarly pursuits than field work, and the ritual wasn't a total failure. It confirmed 3 locations from my earlier studies: Balmora, Aldrin, and Berelzar's tower. I need you to investigate each of these sites. I researched what I could using the resources available here in Vivec City. To learn more, I need an agent to personally assess each location. Lord Vivec thinks you're the best one for that job. I hope he's right. I believe the mage seen in the ritual is Berelzar, who works out of an ancient Velothi tower. His experiments radiate energy similar to Vivec's affliction, but they're not a perfect match. Find out what he knows about the transfer of divine energy. House Redoran controls the town and nearby mines. House Halalu also has interests in the region. Rumors of a cult in the area concern me the most. I believe we saw a cultist during the ritual. Make discreet inquiries and see what you can learn. I have no idea. That's why we're sending you. I suggest you start at the inn. Secrets get spilled along with the drinks in such places. The miners may know something as well. I've heard that House Redoran has issued some kind of proclamation. Savage Ashlanders, like the one seen in the vision, use the area as a tribal meeting ground. These nomadic heretics deny the divinity of the tribunal and have no love for Vivec. But how they could be involved eludes me. See what you can uncover. I traced tendrils of Vivec's energy to these locations, and the ritual confirmed the connection before it went awry. Just don't discuss Lord Vivec's condition with anyone. We don't want to start a panic. If anything changes here, I'll contact you.
Stop this violence at once.
one frustration after another. It's about bloody time you buoyant armchairs showed up. I sent a request for assistance almost an hour ago and... Oh, hello. You don't look like a bouncing armature to me. Still, my manservant is missing and I could use the help. First, my assistants from the Mages Guild disappeared without so much as a by your leave. Then, my useless manservant Stibbons vanished. Said he was going to solve the mystery, but now he's disappeared as well. And it's almost tea time. Oof, intolerable. We were exploring the Balfell ruins when everyone left me. I expect such behavior from the hired help, but Stibbons? He's usually more dependable than that. Locate the mages and Stibbons, then use this signal wand so I can join you. I blame the Investigator Vale books I lent to Stibbons. He was never this adventurous before he became enchanted with her admittedly thrilling stories. But what are you still doing here? I thought you were going to find Stibbons and the mages. That's what we're trying to determine. Balfell was once a great city built atop an ancient center of Sheogorath worship. Now only the Daedric ruins remain. Once we find the treasure, I'll be more famous than that blowhard Narcissus Dren. No one of note. Just a pretentious, arrogant author and adventurer with an overinflated sense of self-importance. He's an irritating dark elf who loves to hear himself talk. And the topic of conversation? The greatness of Narcissus Dren. The Swit. Treasure, relic. I'm sure there's something important hidden in the ruins. According to local rumors, people disappear around Balfell all the time. That's what sparked my interest. Mysterious happenings often extend my fame and fortune. I suppose there could be a connection. On the other hand, never attribute to ancient curses what can be explained by greed and laziness, I always say. Oh, they were just your typical apprentices. Young, eager, hoping to make a name for themselves by working alongside a famed treasure hunter. The 6 of them readily broke off promptly at sunset yesterday and abandoned the camp. They abandoned me! They already had my gold, so I stayed to finish the work. Not the studious and well-mannered apprentices I expect from the Mages Guild. Besides, if truth be told, they were incompetent. I'm surprised they remained with us as long as they did. My manservant Stibbons. He's lazy, drinks too much, and requires detailed instructions to accomplish the simplest of tasks. But his fish stew is delicious, I'll grant him that. I regret letting him read my collection of Investigator Vale mysteries. Have you read them? She's a brilliant detective. I fear Stibbons got the wrong idea and thinks he can find the missing mages just like Investigator Vale. When you locate him, I shall express my disapproval for his reckless disregard of his duties.
don't want to go back. No, I can't go back. You can't make me go back. The overbearing Breton? She's working with the spiders, isn't she? She knew! She knew the spiders would take my friends. She knew they would make them dance. I had to run, you see. I had to. I don't want to dance. I don't know how! Spiders, yes! Please, you have to rescue them! The spiders make them dance, but nobody can dance forever. I'd go back, but I can't. I don't dance, you understand? I won't dance! Why do the spiders want us to dance anyway? It makes no sense! Stibbins? He's in league with the spiders. Why else don't they force him to dance? He went to join his spider masters, but he dropped his spice pouch just over there. Oh no. Do you think it's full of spiders? What should I do? What should I do?
I dare say, help! Help! Lucifer, stand up. That creature was positively terrifying. But at least I found one of my lady's hirelings. That horrific spider! I was using several of the inquisitive techniques employed by Investigator Vale in her fabulous stories when the largest, most terrifying spider I ever laid eyes upon sprang at me with evil intent. Even spooked the mage. It is, though she's not making much sense. Perhaps you could talk to her? Lady Laurent believed the mages absconded with her hard-earned gold. So I followed them to these ruins, and, well, I encountered the spider, and then everything went dark. No. This is embarrassing. It started talking to me. Then I swooned and passed out. Spiders have that effect on me. Oh, I must return to Lady Laurent. It's well past her tea time, and she's going to be extremely displeased with me. Please, do get on with it. I'm afraid Lady Laurent will be...
No! I won't listen! I won't listen! Leave me alone, spiders! The spiders. Those damned spiders. They talk to me. They want me to dance. Mustn't. I mustn't dance with them. That would be bad. Why do you think? No, don't think. That's when they get you. Crawl into your mind. Don't let them. Oh! I must go now. The spiders. They call to me. I will join the dance. You found Stibbins. Probably just got turned around in the ruins again. So tell me, what did you discover my manservant doing when you happened upon him? Did he provide an explanation as to why I'm still waiting for my afternoon tea? A talking spider? Ridiculous! Still, Stibbins has always been dreadfully afraid of the eight-legged pests. No excuse for shirking his responsibilities, though. And the mages? Did you stumble upon them while you tracked down my manservant? Why not? Don't tell me you're afraid of a few spiders in a dusty old ruin. Interesting. Spiders and a barrier. Some sort of spider magic? Regardless, such occurrences suggest there's more to these ruins than I presumed. A great treasure, perhaps? But why could the mage pass through the barrier and not you? She heard talking spiders? Incredible. I can brew a tea to keep Stibbins from fainting. Then he can listen to the spiders and lead us through the barrier. But we need to test its potency. Bring me a small spider from the ruins and meet us at my camp.
I beg Milady's pardon. I really thought I could solve the case of the missing mages.
Ugh, whatever gave you that idea? You can barely manage not to lose my collection of combs and brushes every time you pack them.
But Investigator Vale... I mean, would Milady like her tea now?
And some of those sweet biscuits I like. Let's return to camp so you can start cooking.
Of course, Milady. Right away.
And Stibbins, I want my book back.
Lady Laurent's tea was actually quite delicious, but the thought of listening to that spider and walking into a mysterious ruin just scares the pudding out of me. Still, if that's what Milady thinks is best...
That's one of the spiders? You don't expect me to touch it, do you? I wonder why it hasn't controlled us. Too far from the ruins? Maybe it targets specific individuals? Well, release the spider and let's see if the tea keeps Stibbins from fainting.
Lady Laurent's tea was... A spider. I'm still conscious?
My tea worked! Head for the ruins and find the spider that talked to you, Stibbins.
As you command, milady. Another spider! It's talking to me.
Follow my manservant.
Well, what do we have here? Now, this is intriguing. Someone set up a little workshop in these ruins. Alchemy from the looks of it, though I see a few components related to Daedric magic. Dead spiders, vials, various alchemical components. This must be how these mind spiders were created. They certainly don't appear to be natural creatures. The notes in this journal, they refer to different kinds of spiders. Mind spiders, we already know about them. It also lists pack spiders, light spiders, and exploding spiders. How exciting. Someone is making spiders of nefarious purpose. The journal indicates that victims controlled by the mind spiders are needed for some sort of Daedric ritual. We need to find whoever is performing this ritual, and you need to make them stop. Then I can lead Stibbins and the others to safety. Follow me, brave assistant. I was right! It is some kind of Daedric ritual led by a hulking Nord priest! Brave assistant, do something! Oh, Stibbins, you look ridiculous. Stop dancing this instant.
Come to join our dance? Dance! Dance! Shake your netters for the mad god! No! The dance must not be interrupted!
Why do my feet hurt? Oh, never mind. Run!
Naturally, we will be reducing your compensation accordingly. As much as a good run from a Daedric ruin really gets the blood pumping, I wish we had been more successful. We lost a few of the apprentices, and I never did locate any relics or treasures. I suppose. I still can't figure out how the priest was able to control their minds using spiders. It's a bafflement. Maybe one of these scrolls I seized on the way out will shed some light on this final mystery. No need to worry. Stibbins will examine the scrolls. He's ever more durable than he appears. I know a scribe who lives near White Ridge Barrow in Skyrim. His fascination with spiders borders on obsession, but I'm sure he'll appreciate the scrolls. I appreciate your help and your concern, but what possible harm could glancing at a few dusty scrolls cause? Here, for your trouble. I seem to have some extra gold after adjusting my staff's compensation. Oh, Stibbins, since you like to read... Stibbins, I have something I'd like you to read.
What's this? The newest investigative veil mystery?
Just read it out loud and tell me what it says.
A read aloud. What fun.
Just enunciate, Stibbins, and speak loudly. Anytime now, Stibbins.
This isn't the newest investigative veil mystery.
Read the scroll, Stibbins!
Something. Mad god flows and ebbs. Something. Call forth the tangled webs. Oh, no, that doesn't sound good.
Really, Stibbins? You do manage to complicate the simplest tasks.
goes to the city just for the pickpockets. Says it's the only route.
Defense always a good attack.
You there, Outlander. I have a problem. So I was right. You're a sword for hire. Excellent. My name is Marla Rethan of House Hlalu, and I have a proposition for you. I need someone to investigate what's going on in the Vasya Didanat ebony mine. Piqued your interest, have I? Capital. My brother Benar and I share ownership of the mine, but I suspect he's hiding something from me. The little weasel's even locked down the entrance. Only his personal guards are allowed inside. There are only 2 keys to the mine. Benar keeps one in our manor house. The other is carried by the mine's foreman, Nox. I want you to procure a key, either one, and then search the mine for any sign of mischief. Report back with your findings. Foreman Nox is somewhere in Balmora. Should be simple enough to pluck the key from his pockets. Or, if you prefer burglary, you could take my brother's key from the desk in his study. Our manor is just up the hill to the west of town. My dear brother prefers to keep our roles in the business separate. He runs the mine while I handle the finances. He doesn't interfere with my work, nor I his. That's the agreement. Oh, I have, but Benna tells me nothing. It's just secure more buyers and hire more workers. He gets dreadfully annoyed when I press him about my concerns. Like, why do we need so many miners? Even the townsfolk are starting to talk about that. You haven't heard the rumors? The cursed mine of Vasir Didonot, they call it. They go in, but they don't come out. Now, just inane ghost stories, truth be told. But if the rumors persist, it could soil our reputation. Well, the mine has underperformed for years. I'd actually considered selling it. Until recently, that is. Ebony has been pouring out of the mine these past few months. And normally, I'd be overjoyed, but that's also when Benna became distant. Anything out of the ordinary. I don't suppose you know the difference between pure ebony and... Never mind, just give the mine a good look and keep an eye out for mischief. If you find anything odd, bring it back with you. I have many important clients that depend on the success of this mine. They'll hold me personally responsible if anything isn't correct. I'd like to avoid that kind of unpleasantness. Well, the key should be no trouble. My brother is away at the moment, and the house guards are not exactly the keenest. If you choose to pickpocket the foreman, well, just avoid the city watch, I suppose. That's the rub. The mine is well guarded. My brother insisted that I hire only the rowdiest and most ill-tempered mercenaries, so I brought on the Iron Hound Company. I can vouch for their pugnacity. I'd prefer to avoid bloodshed, of course, but I don't want to tip my brother off. If he is up to something, I'll need deniability to maintain the element of surprise. Besides, they're mostly criminals, drunks, and skooma addicts. Expendable, yes?
The Silt Strider suffers from moss.
I can't believe they want us to go outside. You look like the traveling sort. In your excursions, have you perchance come upon a young dark elf named Vea? She went missing a couple of weeks ago and her father desperately seeks any information regarding her whereabouts. That's a shame. Her father, Eris, the house counselor here in Balmora, promises that anyone who can find his daughter and return her safely to his side will be well rewarded. You should speak to Counselor Eris. He's opened the Kin House to interview potential recruits. Freelancers, as it were. If you're interested, go speak to the Counselor. The longer Vea remains missing, the more distressed Counselor Eris becomes. Counselor Eris can be found at the Redoran Kin House, and do hurry. He's ever so troubled by our failure to locate young Vea. If he finds that an outsider can succeed where the House Guard has failed, so be it. I have no issue with Counselor Eris seeking help. It's where he's decided to get that help that concerns me. House Redoran doesn't need outsiders to take care of its business. But who am I to question a House Counselor? How can anyone not know about House Redoran? Is this some sort of Outlander ruse? Well, in that case, Redoran is the grandest of the great Dunmer houses. We champion the virtues of duty.
Scum like you belongs on the bottom of my boot. Irks me just to look at you. Now get lost, scum.
Get yourself a drink, and one for me. Get yourself a drink, and one for me. Is this on straight? Get yourself a drink, and one for me.
I love seeing new faces. For a while, it was just the same old miners and the occasional travelling merchant. Thought Carolon might have to shut this place down. Look at me talking your ears off. What can I get you? At first, I assumed it was the usual house squabbles. Redoran and Hlaalu arguments can get pretty heated. Then I thought maybe the Ashlanders were scaring people off. But after that proclamation, I'd rather not talk about that with a stranger. I like the color of your gold, Outlander. Just between us, I heard the House Guard shut down the Shulk ore mine. Something to do with violent cultists who attacked the miners and took over the place. Even got the crew chief, or so I heard.
Yes? Is there something I can do for you, Outlander? My daughter has been gone too long, and the House Guard can't seem to find a wall in the corner. But why should I trust you with this task? Tell me, Outlander, how can you succeed when my forces continue to fail time and time again? An interesting insight. Perhaps you can find my daughter. Vea can handle herself, but the father worries, you understand? Anyway, I agree with your assessment. That's why I'm willing to bring in outside help on this. Vea fled after a family disagreement. She's run away before, but I'm concerned that she might have something more permanent in mind this time, and more dangerous. Vea knows how to evade the House Guard, but as you said, she doesn't know you. Captain Briven oversees the House's attempt to locate my daughter. You should speak to him and see what his investigation has already turned up. He's probably patrolling the town square at this time of day. Briven's soldiers have been trying to get information out of Vea's friends. But those young men and women are almost as good at avoiding the House Guard as my daughter. That is a private matter. If your investigation proves fruitful, and such matters become relevant, we can discuss the particulars then, but not before. Like my daughter, my wife has a mind of her own. What the two of you discuss is your own affair. Just understand that I haven't employed you to solve my family's problems. I only need you to find my daughter. Vea has always been fascinated by the Morag Tong. Even admired one of their agents when she was growing up. It's possible she sought refuge with this agent, or even decided to join the organization. Though I hope I'm wrong about that. The Morag Tong? They're an ancient guild of assassins sanctioned by the Tribunal to carry out honorable writs of execution. Ostensibly, they're supposed to keep the houses from resorting to all-out war. But I still find the practice barbaric. Someone of no consequence, and not at all important to accomplishing your mission. Besides, you don't find Morag Tong agents, they find you. Just pray it's not because your name wound up on one of their writs. That is a death sentence.
May I help you?
I can't promise I'll remember any of this. I can't promise I'll remember any of this. Care to join me? Not now, Outlander. If you need some sort of assistance, go find one of the House Guard. You must be one of the freelancers the Council employed to supplement the duties of the House Guard. Very well. I'll tell you what I know. Veya ran away. Again. I hope you can succeed when my troops have failed. If anything happens to Veya... I've known the Relith family since I was a child. Veya is like a sister to me, and I'll do everything in my power to get her home safe and sound. Even trust an Outlander. We think our friends may know where she is, but they keep eluding us. Perhaps, as long as you don't get too close. They've been running notes of late. I think it has something to do with Veya, but the runners keep evading my guards. Look for a group meeting on the other side of town, and see if you can follow the note. When you find Veya's friends, remember to keep your distance. You just want to spot the note carrier and follow him to whoever's receiving these messages. That's the key to locating Veya. If you can't do it, don't worry. The house can handle it. Veya's a born warrior. Hard-headed, stubborn, a real pain in the ass. She can fight like an angry netch, though. I keep trying to get her to join the militia, and she always turns me down. That's not my tale to tell. If Councillor Eris or his wife won't speak of the troubles his family has had to deal with in recent weeks, maybe you can ask Veya, if and when you find her. We started to notice groups of young dark elves gathering in out-of-the-way parts of the city. One of my guards saw them pass a note between them, but they split up and she lost them in the back alleys. Could be a love poem or a recipe for Kwama cream cocktail, but we suspect it's the way Veya has been keeping tabs on what's been happening in the city. Look, it may amount to nothing, but the note could give us a lead on where to find Vea.
Get this letter to Drevis. It's important. Just don't let House Redoran get their hands on it. If you think you're being followed, find a place to hide. Good luck.
So much to do, so little time.
Well done. This should help us determine what happened to Vea's brother. Hello, can I help you? Wait a moment. You're one of those hirelings House Redoran pays to harass us simple folk. Look, all Vea wants to do is to find out what happened to her brother. Too bad the house doesn't seem to care a swit about any of that. Vea wants nothing to do with the house or her father. Why can't any of you respect that? Even if I wanted to help, I haven't seen Vea since she snuck out of town. We communicate by notes, and this one isn't even about her. Well, if you must know, it concerns Vea's brother. He was an officer in the House Guard before he vanished without a trace. We've been trying to help Vea find him. A local tough. Goes by the name of Ashur. He delivers the letters. We usually meet him outside of town to the northeast. But good luck trying to get any information out of him. Ashur is not known for his conversational skills. I think we're done here, don't you? I told you where to find Ashur. He's been passing our notes on to Vea. Just to the north and east, outside of town. Or is this your way of offering to save me a trip, since you're headed his way? Balmora's not that big. Most of the sons and daughters of the house leaders and prominent merchants know each other. Vea's one of us, and we'll do whatever it takes to help her find her brother. Well, within reason. And Vea would do the same for us. That's why we're helping her. She really is a terrific person. I'm not telling you anything, you Redoran lapdog.
Quality and variety. Come see for yourself.
killed one of my gang, Swit. No writ will protect you from us. Feeling left out? I'm sure I can procure a writ for each of you. That's it. Kill the Morag Tong and any witnesses. I'm taking lead. No use getting my axes bloody again. I need aid! I had that situation under control. Just needed them to make the first hostile move. Still, I cleaned enough blood off my axes for one day, so thanks for lending a hand. You were you? Was it Melissa? I told her I'd close out my tab after I completed another contract. That woman has the patience of an anxious Nyx. Well, tell her I'm good for it. I'll stop by and we can conclude our business cordially. Vea? The new apprentice? Now why in Oblivion do you care about Vea? Are you now? And why do you want to do that? Never mind, I don't really care. I was asked to pass along some notes, but I'm not really the messenger type. I suggest you talk to Vea's mentor. Last I heard, she had a job in the Western Ruins. Make sure you don't anger Vea's mentor, or even look at her the wrong way. She's grown surprisingly protective of that young woman, and if she thinks you pose a danger... Besides, I'd hate to see you wind up on the wrong end of one of our writs. You know, the usual buyer's remorse. I see a lot of that in my line of work. Turns out, I had to kill a bad man who did bad things. The writ was legal and above board. Unfortunately, his brother didn't see it that way and was looking for revenge. Oh, you make it sound so obscene. Still, that's pretty much an accurate description. But it's not like I work for the Dark Brotherhood or anything. I don't kill anyone without a sanctioned writ. Keeps the great houses in line. It's a calling. I'd rather not. She's particular about her secrets, and I don't want to get on a bad side. You should keep that in mind too if you plan to continue on this course. Vea's mentor usually sticks to the rules, but I wouldn't turn my back on her.
Please, if you just listen. I'm in need of a strong set of legs, Traveler, and you look like one capable of protecting yourself. Will you aid an old Mer in one last task? I have an obligation to my family. No, a duty of utmost importance. But I have grown too feeble to fulfill it. If you would take this memory stone to the few places of significance in my life, I will pay you well. It allows one to archive memories for future generations. I hope to do this for my children, who have grown estranged. Invoke my stone at the locations I've marked on your map, and the memories I wish to archive will manifest. I thank you for your aid. Fewer than ever are willing to aid their elders in these troubled times. Now I suppose the distance with my children is my fault, not theirs. It is a rare gem. Once, long ago, Redguard warriors carried them into battle. One of the most famous was a sword singer in the First Age, Makeleleki. No historians will cherish my thoughts, certainly, but perhaps my children will come to in time. I purchased it from my master, Drennan, a Telvanni mage of middling repute. I have served him for how long? Many, many years. For as long as I can remember. I will serve him until I die, no doubt. But that will not be long now. Ah, yes. Mills. My son has never really forgiven me for never being here for them. He's a stranger in my own home. No. If anything, it's the other way around. Even Naria has grown accustomed to my absence. Naria less than Mills, but both my children grew up largely on their own. My duties to Master Drennan consumed a great deal of my time. Mills especially grew up with Naria and no one else. He despises me, and I don't blame him. You'll know soon enough. As will they, I hope. I failed them as a father, but they are safe, aren't they? I kept them safe. I cannot travel with you, but I have attuned this stone to my soul. When you use it at the locations I've marked, it will summon echoes of things that once occurred there. The stone absorbs these echoes, allowing others to view them.
Do you make a habit of randomly accosting people while they fish? I don't see how that's any of your business. I've nothing to say to my father or those his Telvanni master employs. Whatever this is about, it's no concern of mine. My father managed to leave me out of his life. He can leave me out of his problems, too. You want to talk? My sister Naria works the stables. She tolerates my father's business better than I do.
My, you look like a well-traveled individual. If you're looking to give your mount a well-deserved rest, you've come to the right place. We know how to pamper a loyal Guar in Balmoral. My father? Oh no, has he taken a fall? Or did he ask you to do something for him? He's been declining of late, and I'm afraid he's not entirely in his right mind. Oh, Mills. He was so young when Mother passed. I've tried to explain that Father had to work to keep a roof over our heads, but it's been difficult. I raised Mills myself while Father was away, which was often. He's never forgiven Father for that. Oh, yes. Father is well regarded among the Telvanni masters, even though he's never aspired to be one himself. Master Drenim trusts him implicitly, and if you know anything about the Telvanni, that's impressive on its own. They don't trust easily. I'm afraid I don't know. All he's been able to tell me is that part of his contract with Master Drenim forbids him from disclosing any of the Master's business, even to his own children. Whatever he's doing, I'm certain it's important. I wish he didn't have to work so much. Master Drenim pays well, but sometimes I worry he will work Father to death. He's just so tired all the time. Even when he finds time away, Mills refuses to see him, and I know that hurts him dearly. I did for a bit, after Mother died. I didn't understand why Father couldn't be with us until I grew up and learned how hard it is to keep a family housed and fed. Now I appreciate all Father's sacrifices for us. I just wish Mills could see it.
Stupid dog.
What happened? Let me see.
I just tried to pet it. Damn dog bit me.
Leave it alone. There's something strange about that dog.
Set it ablaze!
Oh, Gilan, look! A Dwemer gear. It's in remarkably good condition.
Yes, wonderful. I'll mark it down.
And here, another. Could these have fallen off the ruins?
Yes, that is peculiar.
Is something the matter, dear? You seem distracted today.
Oh, nothing's the matter. I'm nervous.
Whatever for. If anything attacks us, I'll protect you.
I'm not nervous about an attack, Bravura. It's just... well... there's no good way to say this.
To say what?
Marry me?
Are you serious?
That's not the response I hoped for.
Gilan, of course I'll marry you. I love you. I just expected something more dramatic.
Well, I planned to propose at the falls, but today we didn't go to the falls. I had to improvise.
And this is why you've been so nervous.
Yes. Wait. Did you just agree to marry me?
Yes, Gilan. 12 times yes. My dear, distracted, adorable archivist, I will marry you.
That's wonderful!
Isn't it?
Oh, Bravura, you won't regret this. You are the stars to my sky.
Did you just come up with that?
Well, no. I've been saving it for the right time.
Huh?